Hi, RC. Good morning, everyone.
Mm. Hi, Pao.
Hi, RC. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, good. Kumusta?
Okay naman. Thank you for saying yes to this webinar. I know you're busy.
Let me transfer my connection lang. I think a bit slow yung current connection ko. Hold on.
Sure, no worries. While waiting lang din naman. No problem. Hi, agents. Good morning. It's our very first webinar of this year, of this month, and we have more to go. So thank you. You're all right in time. Let's just wait for a few more. Sorry, I was on mute, guys. I'm just saying, let's just wait for RC to join again. Okay, RC's back. You're back. All good? Okay, so we have very few attendees as of this time, but we sent a reminder, so most probably as we go. Although, ano naman, as always, this webinar is recorded, so definitely we'll be sharing everything, including all the marketing materials from Unitech. So we'll be sharing it to our agent partners. So again, guys, for this morning, we have, I think, Unitech is the very first New Zealand webinar um, from the time that I've joined Yes Education. So we have Mr. Ray Christian Rosell. So he'll look after a lot of regions for Unitech. I think some of you guys already know RC. We call him RC. So he came from another like with the past. So RC just recently joined Unitech. He's very knowledgeable, not just actually guys, not just with New Zealand, but now he's with Unitech, and we'll be sharing more about not just the institution, but also what New Zealand can offer to your institution, to your students rather. I know some of you guys very new din sa destination, New Zealand as destination. So, um, oh, I think our okay. So there, RC, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Pao. Let me just share my screen. Oh, hold on. I'll send a request in. to share my screen.
Sorry.
No problem.
All
There.
good now? Can you try again or something? Yes, there.
Okay. I think everyone should be able to see my screen now. So thank you
There,
again, pal,
yes.
for the wonderful introduction. It's nice to see everyone. I think we have an intimate session right now, so if you have questions along the way, feel free to chat, or I'm not sure if they're able to unmute, but feel free to ask along the way since it's an intimate session. Just raise your hand or feel free to interrupt me during the presentation because I feel that it's more engaging pag ganon, and you'll be able to pick up more things as we go with that model in mind. So, like Pao said, I'm currently the international market manager for Manila Institute of Technology and Unitech. We've recently merged into one entity. Although for now, I'll focus first on Unitech since I haven't been trained yet on our MIT offering side. But we're basically the largest public polytechnic in New Zealand, and we have 6 campuses in Auckland. So lots of programs to offer. We have a little bit of everything, so you can expect more than 100 programs ang mo offer once you decide to promote Unitech through Yes Education. And Paul mentioned that some of you this might be, New Zealand might be new for some of you. So I'm also a New Zealand licensed immigration advisor. So if you have questions about immigration, pathways students can have, how they could bring their families with them, yeah, feel free to ask them even later on. I'm happy to provide general information and guidance on that so that you can also share some of those information to your prospective students. So I'll share a quick video just so that we can better appreciate Unitech and what it has to offer. But I think they're gonna share your audio, so let me try sharing again. I think I have to click on the share sound. Oh, although I'm not sure if it's possible. Hindi ko siya maklik. Hold on. But no worries, we can still play the video. It has a subtitle naman. Hold on, hindi ko siya ma-click, but yeah, I'll share the video. I'll go ahead and share the video. No worries, may ano naman siya. May mga subtitle naman siya. So, you'll still hear what student will be saying. Mm. Okay, a bit slow siya, so I think we'll have to skip the video for now, but that's okay. I have some photos naman of the campuses so that you'll also be able to see it. Pero since we are located in Auckland, and maybe one of the first few things that you might encounter when you start speaking with students, syempre, ang kilala nila usually are the universities. So to better differentiate kung ano nga ba yung ITT or Institute of Technology and Polytechnics sa New Zealand. So we focus more on the hands-on learning experience of the student. So more on the career outcomes kami. And we have smaller class sizes. I myself studied at an ITP. Kaya na-experience ko talaga yung very small ang class size and na-appreciate ko siya because pag may question kami sa teachers namin, then since they're also experts in their field, um, madaling mag-adjust during the classes and it's also easier to not be left behind kasi pag may di clear sa'yo, you can just raise your hand and sometimes maraming group sessions din. And ako marami ako natutunan even not just from my teacher but also my classmates. And the good thing about that, mostly our professors are also experts in their field. In my case, since I studied immigration law, yung nagtuturo talaga sa akin were immigration lawyers and other licensed immigration advisors. The other bonus of that, aside sa knowledgeable sila, maganda yung network ng mga professors. So, whenever may mga job opportunities silang alam from their friends, their colleagues, or their former workmates, ayan, they share it with the students. Ako, I found my supervisor through my professor lang din. Kasi dati niya naging staff and tinrain niya. So, those small things, it adds up and it really helps then yung na maging mas maganda yung outcome ng mga students natin. And since we focus more on the hands-on practical learning experience side, we also engage with the employers. So maraming lumalapit sa amin. We have our own job listing website na from with our with our industry partners. Right now, I think there's more than 100 openings available there. So that's another added advantage if they are a student of like they just select what program they're studying. Currently, lalabas na yung mga jobs that might be suitable for them. So it's a good advantage for the student. Yeah, this was something that I was gonna highlight earlier in the video. It was mostly these two campuses, pero ang pinaka main campus natin is Mount Albert. In fact, mapapansin mo dito, maraming Kiwis na sa aming nag-aaral talaga. Since sa student population namin, we have about 8,000 students. Sa 8,000 na yun, mga 6,000 doon yung locals or residents in New Zealand. So, it's a good balance na the international students namin has a good population, more than 2,000. I think we have more than 50 Filipinos already studying there. And kilala talaga siya ng local, so it's really recognized by employers. And they still get that full international student experience. Hindi yung pagdating nila puro Filipino or puro other nationalities lang na very condensed. So kami, it's very well diversified at the same time. Maraming locals talaga that's studying with us. Since usually kami rin yung nakikita doon na malaki yung campus. Yung Mount Albert campus namin was historically 55 hectares. Kaya it's one of the largest Auckland tertiary campus. I think it's the largest actually even when I looked at the recent sizes ng mga campus. Kaya they get the full international student and the experience and they'll really appreciate yung facilities na meron. Sa Waitakere campus naman, it's 10 kilometers away pero may free shuttle tayo going back and forth these two campuses. So strategically located siya near hospitals. So that's why we have a separate campus there. Pero may four other campus pa tayo. Doon naman yung from our Manukau Institute of Technology na side. Yeah. So for you to better appreciate, ANC Mount Albert campus, it's very big, historically spanning 55 hectares. Although I know we gave back some of the land already for housing redevelopment, but the advantage is yun, marami ring housing options nearby. In fact, even itong semester once in February, I looked at the availability just yesterday sa student residential village. That's only 8 minutes walk away from the campus. Mostly Unitec and AUT students yung nandoon. May mga available, may mga vacancies pa. And it's only around 200 to 300 per week, depending na lang sa room na pipiliin ni student. So may nearby options sila, and it's only 10 minutes drive away from the central business district of Auckland. So they're really at the heart of Auckland and quite accessible lahat for them. 15-minute walk away lang yung train station from the main campus. Kaya it's easy for them to get around. And even yung arrival ng students, it's not very difficult to arrange kasi sa Auckland din naman sila mostly naglaland talaga when they come to New Zealand. I think around 30-40 minutes lang from the airport, they should be able to arrive in our campus. We also have a virtual tour available. I highly recommend. If you have students interested, have them have a look around. Baka pag nakita nila doon nila, mas ma-appreciate. Siyempre, they'll be investing in their education. They'll have a good idea of the facilities that they would be having pagdating nila doon. Okay? And like I mentioned earlier, ito yung mga benefits nga, yung mga industry partners natin. We have an industry advisory council na mostly from the employer side and sila yung nagbibigay ng input sa how we deliver our programs or what we include in our curriculum. This way, talagang aligned yung career outcomes ng mga students natin sa in-expect na employers to hire from us. We also have programs na may kasamang mga internships. So that's also another added bonus since that might also lead to their future employment. And something quite new that I think is also a good selling point for students is many of the programs that we have leads to registration then. So they'll be studying not just to for the sake of studying and having a degree and yung mga benefits of course ng student visa, but it's actually for them to enter licensed professions. In fact, even now, we even have mga nurses sa Philippines na although I know may pathway for them to get registered via the visitor visa and pag may 1,800 clinical hours sila, marami nagko-consider pa rin to study again with us just because they want to have that longer stay and some of them want gusto i-skip na lang yung exam so ng OSCE so nagtitake sila ng bachelors of nursing namin and they know the advantage of having work rights habang nag-student visa. They spoke with some of their friends that are already there. Pag tinanong nila kamusta yung job search, they know na mas pinaprioritize yung mga may valid working visa. So that's another good thing about doing the student visa pathway sa New Zealand. You can work right away pagka may employer ka makausap while you work towards um, your registration. Sometimes ibang program kukunin nila since they know they could already become a nurse to a different pathway. Sometimes they will do it simultaneously with a program that will complement it. Sometimes a master's degree para at least when they get their license, makakuha sila ng work, it's easier for them to transition to either a work visa or residence visa. So it's all accredited, mostly recognized for both Australia and New Zealand ng mga qualifications. In fact, ako na-surprise sa how deep yung recognition nila. I'll give you an example. For example, sa akin, yung license ko sa New Zealand, since recognized din sa Australia, even if I'm not a citizen sa Australia, I could get the MARA license then right away dahil may license na ako. So, ganun yung recognition nila. May few additional requirements na usually and sometimes registration fees. Pero if you're an engineer, architect, or nurse, it's easy to transition later on if you want. If you have an employment opportunities sa Australia, then diba, why not? So, we have the programs leading to these different registrations. I think yung wala lang dito is the social practice or a social worker. Requires din kasi ng registration yun by law and yung sa amin recognized din for that. So, ang programs naman namin, it's not just diplomas or certificates, hanggang doctoral program, we offer that at Unitec. So, from level 3 to level 10, we have all of those offerings na available. Certificates, diplomas, bachelor's, postgrad diplomas, graduate diplomas, masters, and doctoral degrees. I'll go through some of the key programs. Siguro I'll skip the certificates just because most of those are part-time studies and because many of the certificates and level 4 diplomas, mga pathway yan, in case lang na hindi nila ma-meet yung entry requirements for the main programs. So let's start with diplomas. Um, Something to keep in mind, pag level 6 below ang program, usually walang post-study work visa and usually hindi pa rin dala yung partners. But itong dalawang program na naka-highlight, there's an exemption for them because they are in the qualifications eligible for post-study work visa list. Ang reasoning behind is because there's shortages in these fields, then they're allowing post-study work visa specific to the industry that they are in after they graduate. Kasama yun sa condition ng post-study work visa nila. But these are on the green list. Green list are the occupations that they have shortages in New Zealand. So it's the jobs that they need more people for. Kaya may mga advantages talaga pag nasa green list ang occupation ni applicant. And these two programs leads to that. So construction management and also New Zealand Diploma in Engineering Civil and itong quantity surveying. So if you have a student na high school grad, at least 80% ang grade, pwede sila mag-enter directly kaagad sa mga programs na yan. And may 2 years na post-study work visa din sila after completing. During the post-study work visa, they can meet the requirement. If valid the offer of employment nila during that time, they could transition already for straight to residence or if hindi, they could still go for a work visa na 5 years. So it gives them more time to work towards the residence, even if they don't meet it right away. So they can have up to from the 2 years of study plus the 5 years of work visa plus 2 years na post study. So they have more than 7 years of time to build towards the requirements sa residence. But very straightforward ang residence pathway ngayon ng New Zealand. It's mostly employment driven and depende lang sa salary usually para ma-meet nila ang requirement. They usually require at least the median wage, which is 33.56 New Zealand dollars or around 1,100 pesos per hour. Um, it seems high, pero the minimum wage is already 23 New Zealand dollars per hour. Kaya it's very achievable, especially for occupations that are skilled and that are nasa mga shortages. Okay? And we also have ang mga bachelor's degrees naman natin. Kaya dito marami nalilito. But isa-isahin ko. Bachelor's degree, 3 years lang yan sa New Zealand. And sa per year ng study nila, mahaba ang breaks niya, usually 4 months. They could work full-time during that time. Kaya even though 3 years yung program, if you count all their breaks, parang almost a year din. So yung continuous study nila is only roughly around 2 years siguro. Kasi in between semesters, may 2 weeks breaks din yung mga yan. Kaya plenty of time for them to work full-time, gain experience with different employers. So that's one advantage. Sumunod, pag bachelor's degree ang program mo, 3 years ang post-study work visa since 3 years din yung study. And then, If yung occupation, itong mga naka-highlight ko in green, pwedeng dalhin ang partner on a work visa. And that partner can support their children on a dependent child student visa na libre mag-aral hanggang year 13 sa mga public schools. Kaya it's very family friendly even if they sometimes kasi natatakot yung student mag-bachelor's ulit, but when they consider all of the facts, hindi naman siya kagaya nung bachelor's usually na mag-4 years pa sila and they don't enjoy all of those benefits. And many of these leads to the registration din sa New Zealand. So there's a really good upside then in doing a bachelor's degree. We offer different fields, but if you want to focus on programs that are on the green list and putting them in your family, in my slide,
We lost RC for a bit.
hello, hello. Sorry.
Yep. There,
Yeah, sorry.
you're back, RC. Yes.
Sorry. I think nag-cut a bit. Yan. So going back, so itong mga
Yes, that
naka-highlight
one.
in green, ayan, sila yung eligible na dalhin yung family and nasa green list yung mga yan. So there's also a possible pathway for them for residence. Usually sa salary na talaga nakakatalo and offer of employment, but it's very easy to visualize it if you are a student kung paano mo siya ma-achieve. And ang requirements lang namin is getting at least 80% academic track sa high school diploma nila, K-12. If old curriculum sila, at least having 1 year sa college, they can be considered for admission sa mga programs natin. Okay? And yeah, going back na sa mga programs, yan, Bachelor of Construction, Engineering Technology, Health Science or Medical Imaging, this is pretty much RadTech siya sa atin. So maraming RadTech na kumukuha niyon. Early child education is good for teachers then. Nursing and social practice, these are also licensed professions. Yeah, they're good to offer. High school diploma, K-12 grad, we can already accept basta 80% ang grade and academic track sila. If not, all curriculum or if not academic track, at least nakapag 1 year in college, we can consider them for admissions into our bachelor degrees. And itong mga wala sa green list, they are actually also quite good programs. And if di man sila maging eligible for the straight to residence ng green list, yung skilled migrant category, gagawing 5 points na ang bachelor's degree starting August this year. So dahil 5 points na sila, para maging eligible kasi sa pathway na yun, kailangan mo 6 points. Kailangan na ng 1 year work experience. And pwede nilang kunin yung work experience na yun, yung skilled work experience from their post-study work visa. Kaya even if wala sa green list, may option, may pathway pa rin naman sila for residents via skilled migrant category. Pero binago na yon, employment driven din to. Kailangan may 6 points ka, valid offer of employment from an accredited employer and mamit mo yung salary requirement, which is 33.56 New Zealand dollars. Kaya may pathway pa rin. And depending on their specialization, especially if may work experience na dito, may mga opportunities pa rin naman for them. Graduate diploma naman, ito wala tong post-study work visa kasi ang level 7 programs na may post-study work visas are only degree programs. So, non-degree ito, but there's also another exemption, C Construction Project Management. And 8 months lang yung program na to, but you have to have a bachelor's degree already in the Philippines to be considered. And pwede mo rin dalhin yung family mo with this program. So, good siya for those in the fields of construction or engineering and they want to complement it with a graduate diploma. They want na maiksi lang ang study. Ito, they can finish it in 8 months. Bring their family with them. Pwede din yung kids if eligible. And then, yeah, may pathway rin siya for residents. Ang only restriction nito would be yung post-study work visa niya is specific to project management or construction or project builder, I think, yung isang occupation. Nakalagay yun sa post-study work visa nila that they can only work those fields. Pero, yun nga, maiksi lang yung program and since mas maiksi, mas affordable. So that's a good option then that some applicants can consider. And our most popular programs sa Philippines, of course, yung master's degree. Even Education New Zealand, they share data na 25% of Filipinos that are studying in New Zealand master's degree. Ang kinukuha nila, I think it's because all of the master's degrees pwede dalhin ng family. And then yung family nga, yung partner is naka full-time work rights and then yung kids can study for free if may maka-work visa sa isa sa parents. And then 3 years ang post-study work visa. Even though you only study for as short as 30 weeks or 1 year, 3 years pa rin yan.
Yeah. Let's
Yung
wait again,
program.
guys.
Oh, sorry. Nawawala ako.
A
Okay,
bit
sorry, sorry.
kanina, RC. Pero yeah,
Sorry.
continue lang. Medyo ano lang naman, na-cut ng konti yung kanina.
Okay, so go back lang ako doon. So, ang master's degrees are 18 months, pero 4 months doon ay break. Actually, parang 5 months nga. I'll show the calendar later on. 5 months doon ang break. 13 months. Kasi ang Masters of Applied Business namin, if you take it in October intake, pwede siya ng 13 months continuous. Parang you studied October 2026, pwede ka graduate November 2027. And you already have your master's degree, may 3 years na post-study work visa ka pa. Pero like I said, kahit yung 18 months, take advantage na yun kasi may time rin naman in between na makapag-work sila full-time. Okay? So business, we have 5 different specializations: marketing, analytics, leadership, logistics, supply chain, and HR. Computing, tatlo naman ang specializations dito. They have to pick which specialization they want pag nag-admissions tayo. Cybersecurity, networking, software development, and data analytics and intelligence. Also, Masters of Creative Practice. Ito actually maraming specialization. So I think 6 or 7. Kasi focus siya either on media or graphic design. Focusing rin kami sa mga careers sa creatives that can lead to a career. So that they can also expect, of course, that they have good employment afterwards or employability afterwards. Ang Masters of Architecture namin leads to registration. Wala sa green list ang architecture, but since in demand ang engineering and construction, there's also demands for architect. And ang license to get ang program namin na professional, eligible siya to get the license to become a registered architect in New Zealand. Ang registration na yon, 6 points siya sa skilled migrant category. Kaya that's also another option that they can consider. And meron din tayong Masters of Applied Practice, Social Practice. So usually mga social workers, some psychology grads, kinukuha rin nila yan. So that's something that they could consider. We also have a new program, itong biodiversity management. More on ecology to. They go around New Zealand studying the different living organisms, yung flora and fauna, and yeah, more on biodiversity siya. And Master of Professional Accounting also can lead to CPA recognition. So may kasama rin itong work-based internships. So that's also a very popular program and open siya even for those changing careers, like different business specializations sila, but they want to become accountant. Yan. That program is designed really for those that want to shift careers to accounting sa New Zealand. Entry requirements natin sa Philippines, if they graduated after 2022, any bachelor's degree is accepted. So 2022 onwards, we can accept them for direct entry. Subject na lang for the program-specific entry requirements, which is published sa website namin. Usually may certain grades lang na hinahanap, usually B minus. But be sure to check out sa website namin for the program specifics. If old curriculum graduates sila, we can consider then if they came from section 1 sa loser na institution. So we have a list for that naman. If not, mayroon tayong tinatawag na special admissions, which is where we can use the relevant work experiences or any other licenses and registration or qualification that they have if they can meet the program entry requirements. So may ganong alternative naman tayo. So it doesn't mean that they don't have a bachelor's degree from 2022 or old curriculum study na sila makakapasok. We've made it a bit easier for Filipinos starting August or October. August or October, I think, last year. Doon namin mas pinadali yung entry requirements for Filipinos. Pero even before that, we were able to get good number of qualified applicants already from the Philippines. Like I said, we have more than 50 Filipinos already on campus. Kaya it's steadily growing and very we're not really trying to make to grow very quickly, very steady lang kasi we don't want to um, we want it to become sustainable. Yeah. So we accept different English tests then. It's mandatory for ITPs kasi we're regulated by NZQA. So, bit different ang mga requirements na magkakaiba ang mapapansin nyo sa NZ, magkakaiba ang requirements namin with the universities. because universities, they are self-regulated. So sila bala mag-set mo kung anong English proficiency ang ina-accept nila. For us, we follow NZQA standards. So we have IELTS, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, OET. Itong New Zealand Certificate of English Language, yung NZCL na to, yung from level 3 to level 5, we offer that sa campus namin. So when a student can't meet the English proficiency requirements, pwedeng, or ayaw nilang, di talaga nila makuha yung score na kailangan nila, or ayaw nila mag-take ng exam, may option sila to just study the English program sa amin. And we have a free online test to assess which level ang pwede nilang i-take na. And, and eligible rin kami for pathway offer. As you may know, sa New Zealand kasi kailangan 1 year tuition fee ang payment for visa or one program. English program is one program. So if mag-English muna sila, for example, level 5 academic, and then enter to our masters in accounting, ang babayaran na muna nila sa visa is the 7,000 na fee sa English program namin. Pwedeng doon na sa New Zealand yung payment nung per sem nila. So, yan. Yung iba, either English program or yung pathway namin ginagawa, if gusto nila ng staggered payments, that's actually a valid route naman. And especially if pasok talaga siya kay student, just keep in mind syempre na if kaya naman na nila, mas makakatibid pa rin sila kung kaya naman nila mag-IELTS sila. So I'll still encourage if they can just take an English proficiency exam. Although I've already encountered instances kasi na nakapag 3 times na ng Duolingo or ng maybe IELTS and they really, lagi nabibitin ng score. So we have this option available for them. PTE, we also accept. Language Cert and Trinity ISC, we also accept that. And also if nag-study sila sa New Zealand, may certain score na kailangan from the university entrance, pero we can also consider those. Yeah. So this is just a brief idea kung anong level and ano yung pwedeng i-enter. Ang hindi lang pwedeng ang hindi lang pwedeng ma-meet sa amin ng NCCL is yung sa early child education kasi requirement siya ng teaching council na 7.0 minimum across all bands. So, only that. But the rest, even the nursing program, kaya siya i-meet ng NCCL level 5 namin. And even yung sa social worker na a bit higher ng konti. 6.5 kasi yun eh. Pwedeng i-meet siya ng NCCL level 5 namin na English program. And this is only for one sem. So, 16 weeks lang to or about 4 months nila i-take. So, may additional one sem lang sila if they want to do this pathway. May free online test kami. You can even save this link and you can also try the test yourself para ma-compare nyo siya. I've tried it and for me, mas madali siya compared sa IELTS. It's free and depende sa level na makuha nila doon. Doon namin i-assess kung which level sila eligible for. For example, if masters, kailangan level 5 ang kunin nila. Para maging eligible for the level 5, sa online test, kailangan makascore sila ng 61 to 70. Ayan. Although, my team told me na they're still finalizing this, but this is a rough idea pa lang ng scores na kailangan. So, there's a good chance that if they meet these scores, possible na sila mag-enter for that level of English. Okay? Ito. Very important, yung academic calendar kasi this will help you at least mas mapa-visualize sa students kung ano yung tsura nung schedule, magiging schedule nila. If they start in February, ayun yung ano nila, usually ayun yung semester 1 talaga, may break pa yan sa April, sa week 3 and 4 of April. So, na-experience ko yan nung nag-aaral ako, yung 2 weeks break na yan, sobrang laking tulong niya. Kasi I was working full-time pa rin nung nag-aaral ako. So, nagamit ko yung time to catch up on a few reading nung classes ko at saka yan, makahabol rin ng mga naging pending sa work ko. Kaya, I think ma-appreciate na student yan once they get to know that. If they want to go home then, ma-homesick sila, they can use that time. Pwede naman yun. And then, yan, resume sila ulit ng May. Then, they'll finish the semester in June. Sa July naman, same din, may 2 weeks break din sila. During that break din pala, pwede sila mag-work full-time by the way. So, up to them how they want to use the time, whether to rest or reconnect with family or work. They could do what they want during that time. And then, pag October naman na, break na yan hanggang February. So, even now, may few subjects pa ako na kailangan i-take. Naka-break kami until Feb. Kaya, it's good time. Ako, for me, it's beneficial if they would work full-time. Kasi syempre, doon sila makakamit ng different employers. Baka after they graduate, ayun yung mga magbigay sa kanila ng potential offer of place na magiging eligible for residents. Kaya, yun, they could use that 4 months. If they want to go home, that's fine din naman kasi usually, pati December yan. Sometimes they want to go home, pwede rin yun. Even if they start in July, usually break pa rin talaga yung October. So regardless naman, ganun lang siya. Mag-carry over lang yung yung semester. May one program lang kami na in-offer in October, which is the Masters of Applied Business. 5 specializations naman yon. Ito yung nagiging continuous kasi break siya nag-start. Then, kaya magiging continuous siya. Kaya siya tapusin in 13 months. Okay? And baliktad ang sa New Zealand, yung February, ito yung towards the end of summer na to. And then, yung July naman yung niya. Keep in mind din sa dates. Alam ko spring na tong October eh. And just to simplify, yung sa post-study work visa, I'll compare it with Canada na lang. Kasi usually sa Canada, di ba, pagka nag 2 years study ka, 3 years na yung post-study work visa mo, or PGWP mo. Kaya NZ 1 is to 1 siya, except for masters. So, basta eligible for post-study work visa yan, and level 8 and below. Kung gaano katagal ka nag-study, ganun katagal din yung work visa mo. So, 30 weeks is 1 year, so 1 year then, 60 weeks is 2 years, so 2 years, 90 weeks, 3 years, so 3 years. So, that's how it works. Except for masters, kahit as short as 30 weeks yan, you will get, you will be eligible for the 3 years post-study work visa. Yeah. And the proof of funds for visa is still the same. It's only 20,000 New Zealand dollars per year. Pwede sila mag financial undertaking from their relatives. Pwede rin actually yung friends, pero syempre you have to prove yung relation. And only one sponsor or one guarantor lang ang natin. Pwedeng indicate sa visa application. So that's possible naman. And they can work 25 hours per week. Kaka-increase lang nito from, I think, November or December last year. So, ginawang 25 hours per week na yung part-time work eligibility ng mga international students. So, very aggressive si New Zealand in improving ang policies for international students because it's now their number 9 export, ang education. Yeah. We also have the Manaki Scholarship. Mag-open siya this March 1st to March 31. These are all the benefits of the Manaki scholarships. Full tuition, may living allowance ka, $615 per week. May establishment allowance ka of 3,000 New Zealand dollars pagdating mo sa NZ. May medical and travel insurance ka, libre ka rin yung travel mo. And since postgraduate siya, or mostly masters, pwedeng dalhin yung family during your studies. And you can also work pa during that time. And you still get all of these benefits. Dalawa lang kaming polytechnic na kasama dito. I think SIT yung isa, and then MIT. MIT and Unitech naman yung sumunod. So, ayan. Kaya I'm also promoting it kasi mag-open na siya. March 1 to March 31st ang application. And last cycle, alam ko, around 44 allocations ang binigay sa Philippines. Kaya it's a good opportunity din for strong candidates. Ang tinitingnan dito kung how much can they give back to the Philippines after they graduate. So, ang only catch nito, they have to stay in the Philippines 2 years after graduation. They can't come back to NZ after 2 years. Pero, may mga nakakausap rin ako actually na they were eligible for this back in 2019. And then ngayon, they're already planning to come back to NZ. And if makakuha sila ng offer of place actually by August this year, pwede sila mag straight to residence through the skilled migrant category pathway. So even if they want to migrate later on, hindi mawawala yung makukuha nilang New Zealand qualification. But it's a bit counterintuitive kasi syempre yung nabibigyan nito is mostly yung gusto talaga mag-give back sa Philippines and magstay dito. So that's something to keep in mind. And ito yung programs that are eligible for the scholarship with us. So we have 3 different schools, yung sa Conservation and Biodiversity Management, sa Computing and Information Technology, and sa Business. And pati yung Doctor of Computing namin, that's eligible for this scholarship. Okay? And very holistic yung support ng team namin dito. Pagka dating pa lang nila, ginagay na sila ng scholarship team namin. and ginagala sila along with other Manaki scholars across New Zealand. Marami silang sila sa akin na photos actually, but these are just some that I think really well represents it. And at the end of their study, ni-invite yung agents nila, yung Education New Zealand, and yung Manaki Scholarship Team, and yung mga naging involved sa application nila. And they do, kasi kailangan nila umuwi, I think within 7 or 14 days. Kaya, yan, we do a mini celebration for them. And we gather everyone that's been involved in their application. And nila live stream namin to their families back at home to really celebrate yung naging journey nila while being there in New Zealand. So, yeah, very soon to open. Pretty much ends my presentation. I'm sharing on the QR code because nandito yung ano namin, yung brochure. So you can scan that and you'll have access to our yung prospectus namin for 2026. So we're still open for the July intake and October.
Mhm.
Then I think mid the year we will also open soon for our February 2027 naman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, RC. Quite a meaningful webinar kasi even me, ang dami ko yung mga natutunan with Unitech. And despite our very intimate webinar, there's quite a really good questions from our agent partners.
Mhm.
So others very general siya, I think, because they're very new for NZ.
No problem.
So I'll say it out loud then para sa ating mga attendees. So first question is, what about level 6 and in the green list? Can they bring their dependents?
During the student visa, hindi pa. Kasi may post-study work visa naman to pag nasa green list. Pero during the student visa, hindi pa sila eligible to support a working visa for their partner. Pwede, visitor visa pa lang. Same duration pa rin ng visa nila yon. Pag naka-post-study work visa na sila, pwede na yan. Okay?
Okay,
So,
clear.
yan. Pag post-study work visa na.
Okay.
For level 6 lang.
Um, yes, level 6 lang dito, guys. Next is, okay, is it possible for Filipinos who have bachelor degree, no matter where they graduated here, can they apply for master's degree?
If they graduated from 2022 onwards, eligible sila for direct entry. Kasi we changed this just last year. Kaya ngayon, it's a bit easier na. We accept any bachelor's degree from 2022 onwards. If previously from that, we will rely more on their work experience for entry admissions. Mhm.
Oh, I see. I got
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So, there. Clear yun, guys. 2022 onwards, pwede sila.
Mhm.
Next one, this is regarding recognition. Do Unitech have recognition of prior learning?
Paano recognition of prior
The
learning? Yeah.
what do you call this? For let's say for example for bachelor's degree, yung
Mhm.
mga units na pwedeng ma-credit ba?
Ah, it's possible, pero I would say per subject for assessment and usually a few subjects lang ang nababawas. So transfer of credits is quite possible. May process lang din and we have to make sure lang din syempre na tingnan kung gaano karaming mga bawas. Kasi pag sumobra din, baka hindi na sila pasok sa criteria na
Masayang
eligible
din.
pa
Yes.
to work while studying. Kasi baka
Work
maging part-time study sila. You want them
right.
to maintain full-time student status. So it's
Mm-mm.
possible pero usually few subjects lang nababawas and
Mm-mm.
sometimes yan, one or two subjects lang. For Philippines at least. Pero I've already seen sa other markets ko na yung 3 years program naging 1.5 year na lang for
Okay.
bachelors. So it's quite possible
Okay.
naman. Oo.
Yeah. Okay. This one, I think maybe this is for Visa ata or maybe
Mhm.
for ano rin, for Unitech. Is there like a statement too for NZ that they need to send like in Australia with explanation why they will study there or any like
Yeah.
genuine statement?
That's a good question. Actually, sakto may draft ako dito nung mismong
Okay.
fifill outan sa portal. So, similar to
Okay.
Australia, meron, bago na lang rin to. Just this, I think October last year to Bilago or December last year. Similar to Australia, may parang GS questions na rin sila na ginawa na naka-breakdown and only 1,000 character limit ang per answer.
Hmm.
Let me share again.
And
Ito.
this, kailangan siya RC is send ng
Yan.
student sa initial application sa Unitech. Because
Mm,
this is a portal.
sa portal to ng visa, pero some of our programs might
Okay.
ask them lang why they want to study the program. It depends sa
Mm-hmm.
program. Some of them might have
Mm-hmm.
that requirement, not all. Pero
Mm-hmm.
for visa purposes naman, since they will also fill this out eventually, it's also good to have, if meron kayong form na pinaka-fill out na sa students niyo, include these questions para
Mm-hmm.
then you'll know what to input pagka dating sa visa, hindi na kayo go back and forth too much. So, your family, financial, employment, and other
Yep.
commitments. So, your home country, plan study ba relate to your previous work of study. Pagka nino mo yan, alam ko you'll explain kung why gusto i-take. It's possible pa rin naman, pero syempre, better pa rin if aligned. Why do you want to come to NZ to study? Bakit yung provider na to? How will studying this course benefit you? And plans to, what are you planning to do after you finish your study? It's okay to stay if they want to do post-study work visa. Ayan,
Oh,
may bachelor's, ganyan, multi-year. And, yeah, kung full ba or year by year ang babayaran nila.
okay.
Yan.
So, pwede dyan, RC, dyan sa questionnaires na yan, pwede talaga rin nila masabi dyan na they're also planning to take yung post-study work visa nila for, let's
That's
say, like,
fine.
expect work. Okay, got it.
Ang titingnan naman ng NZ dyan is usually sa bona fide requirement pumapasok yung mga ganito eh. Bona fide meaning are you a genuine applicant that's not at
Yeah.
risk of overstaying after the duration of your visa. So and you have to be truthful kay Ian said kasi that could backfire later on. So it's better to declare your actual intentions and of course provide as much evidences that you can sa student nyo na hindi sila TNT doon or
Mm.
hindi sila hindi sila breach ng conditions ng visa nila. So travel history can also help. We usually recommend adding that. And also home ties definitely can help. But so far, quite good ang approvals, especially for those promoting degree level programs. Some of our partners that have been promoting just master's degree or degree level programs, some of them naka-public naman to, so you can search yung approval rates ng other agents. Nasa 90-95% ang mga approval rate ng mga degree levels ang in-offer. Ang a bit risky usually is pa nag-i-study ng mga level 1 to level 5 na program.
Mm.
And then syempre, baka overqualified na si applicant, so doon pwede magkaroon ng doubts ang INZ. And some of those
Yeah.
programs kasi doesn't have the same benefits
Mm.
as the bachelor's and master's na they can really stay longer. And that means more reason for them not to violate din yung rules ng visa nila kasi may valid rights
Yeah.
naman talaga sila for those visas.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay, this one is for when is the best time to send for each intake?
For July, earliest pa rin naman, syempre, ang pinaka-the best palagi. Pero right now, ang processing time for student visa is 5 to 6 weeks. 80% at least. 5 to 6 weeks yan, nag-range usually. So at least, give a few more weeks allowance before that para a bit safer. Earlier is always better, pero ang pinaka-late ko na nag-lodge for February was second week of January. I think meron akong nag-try ng third week of January, pero pagka request 5 to 10 days usually maximum.
Sorry, RC, na-cut. Can you repeat yun dun sa student na nag-submit the third week of January?
Parang last week siya nag-lodge. Pero February 23 naman kasi start namin. If ever
Ah,
malate, we will see if kaya ba siya i-late start. Like maybe
oh,
February 27, ganyan. So, ayun. If
mm.
ever naman na alanganin na talaga, nagkikipag-communicate naman si INZ. Di naman sila, like most countries, ay refuse na lang. They will communicate, would you want to defer your application? Parang ganun.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
mo rin naman bayaran ang New Zealand naman kasi magbabayad ka ng tuition fee after the approval in
After,
principle. So you still have time to communicate with INZ and tell them na, okay, pag alangan nyo talaga, nag-revise na kami ng offer, ito na yung payment sa new offer namin. So yung i-grant nila, may match na yung new offer nyo, syempre.
yeah,
Kung ano
yeah,
yung
yeah.
babayaran nyo sa resibo, and then yung resibo pala
Mm-mm.
i-issue ng school, and usually i-match ni INZ sa visa duration. So that's why
Right.
yung ibang master's degrees na two SEMs na kasi ang kino-quote namin usually, 30,000 New Zealand dollars lang for master's degrees. Less the 2.5 na scholarship. So some of them prefer to pay pa yung full na 45,000 three SEMs na yung duration ng visa nila. Pero if not, di pa kaya, kahit naman yung ano lang muna, two SEMs, that's fine din.
Pusa. Yeah. Okay. And lastly, with the Manaki scholarship, they are not eligible for the post-study work visa, just to
No,
confirm.
no, yeah, no, they're not.
Yes.
Kasi they have to, yung condition syempre, kailangan nila umuwi. Give back to your country kasi that's the criteria and the reason why they did that scholarship para makapag-contribute sa countries that has strong relationship with New Zealand kasama ang Philippines doon. And nilakayan nila yung allocations actually 44 na. And usually yung mga candidates niyo for this one na makukuha rin, to be honest, mostly sila naman yung maganda yung plan talaga to give back to the Philippines. Maybe it's something that they're really passionate about. May projects sila na gusto gawin dito and they feel that this education can really help them execute it. So, it's a different market from those that you would usually speak with na target is migration. Pero if
Right.
you happen to find one na may plan talaga gawin yon and gusto nila bumalik later on, pwede sila mag-landed resident if they do a master's degree with the right job offer. Mm.
Right. Correct. Correct. Okay. And when it comes to turnaround time, RC, ng Unitech, once we submit complete documents, what is the
Yeah.
turnaround time for the offer from you guys?
If the program doesn't require our faculty for assessment or hindi na kailangan ng interview from our faculty, uh, kaya siya ng within 2 weeks. Right
Mhm.
now kasi a bit slower lang just because we're coming back from a long break and marami lang nasa backlogs ang team and the faculty pabalik pa lang sila. Kaya some programs might take a bit longer, but we definitely make sure that you have enough time for the visa processing. So we'll definitely manage naman the expectations of the students just to make sure na di sila mainip.
Yeah.
But in my experience right now, usually 1 to 2 weeks talaga.
Okay. 2 weeks.
Mm.
Yeah. Very fast
Yeah.
pa rin naman.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, I think hopefully that's it. Ito-check ko lang if we missed out on anything. So, yeah, those are the questions from our attendees. And hopefully, guys, nasagot lahat talaga or we still have time. We still have
Mm.
time naman kung meron pa kayong yung top of your mind, anything about the programs, fees, payment,
Mm-mm.
anything. Just feel free to type lang, guys, for your questions or even sa chat. And hopefully, guys, you were able to screenshot din yung QR code na pinost ni RC. Or maybe, RC, you can reshare your screen para lang din ma-screenshot ulit the QR code for your
Sige.
brochures, for the programs.
Actually, can I chat ba may chat ba tayo
Yes,
dito?
sige. We do have a chat.
Hindi, kasi
Yes.
I can just para lang din na mahirapan. Um,
Okay.
I'll just share the link here to my try ko lang yung sa slide ko kasi sa slide ko na doon na basically rin yung mga info.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Hold on. Nalagot yung account ko. Sign in lang ulit ako. Okay.
While
Share.
we wait, guys, anything pa na gusto nating i-clarify? Itanong din kay RC.
Ayan.
Ayun. Thank you so much, RC. And aside from that one, the recording and for any marketing materials from Unitech, we'll be sharing to you guys. And if you do have any potential students, just let us know. RC is here din naman. He can check his availability kung kailangan at gusto makausap ang rep or we can work things out um, there. Okay? So, all good. We don't want to take too much of your time, 1 hour. Wow. Thank you for a very short and intimate but very informative session, RC, regarding Unitech. And last call, guys. No any questions, clarifications? Good? Okay. So, thank you, RC, for your time, for sharing all the insights about Unitech, about New Zealand, the scholarship, everything. And of course, to our attendees, thank you. It's Tuesday morning. So we'll be having more of this again. New Zealand, like they have a lot to offer for your students. And we have a lot of providers as well that we can share to you guys. And Unitech is one of those. So thank you. Any last information you want to share, RC, before we end this webinar?
Of course, thank you so much, Pao, and thank you everyone for joining. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and of course to Pao and Yes Education if you have any application for endorsements. Yeah, we work with them, so don't hesitate to reach out then if there's any application inquiries that you want to clarify, especially if you already have a student. And dyan na kasi usually nagkakaroon ng questions sometimes.
Conversion,
Yan.
yes.
Happy to naman to reiterate if may facts na may parts that's not quite sure. Yan, we're happy to guide you para maging confident kayo to really promote New Zealand since it's really I think right now it's the third largest study destination for Philippines. I think one or two pa rin si Canada and Australia, but we're steadily growing. And right now, I think we have one of the best pathways to residence for the student visa. And aside from that, very straightforward, very clear. It's a good investment for prospective students, not only for their education, also for their families. Kaya, yeah, looking forward to working more closely with everyone.
Thank you so much, RC. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, guys. Bye.